Beer brings people together. It really has built community. It's like walking into your friend's house. Well, we're independently owned. We're family businesses. We're brewing the beer and doing everything behind the scenes. And that's really the culture that we've set, building that community.
Community cohesion is at an all-time high. As our daily lives have become more focused around our home and a short radius around, our concerns have become more local, and we're realizing the value of having deep roots and personal connections. And nothing says more local than our small hometown craft brewery. Today we have Phil, the executive director from the Connecticut Brewers Guild. Hi, Phil. How are you?
I'm good, Jennifer. Thank you for having me.
So let's just start right off by telling us a little bit about who is the Guild, what do you do, and who do you help?
Yeah, so the Connecticut Brewers Guild is the leading trade organization that oversees all of Connecticut's independent craft breweries. So we right now have 116 breweries with many more in the planning process. So our guild does all the advocacy and lobbying at the Capitol to really protect and promote the industry at the state level. We, of course, work at the federal level with the TTB and our Brewers Association. And then we really promote for people to drink local and really drink local craft beer that's made right around the corner from your house.
In 2012, when we only had about 10, 15 breweries in the state, and we're up to 111 breweries right now with another 20 in the planning process. Converting a lot of these beer drinkers to craft beer drinkers, supporting local and drinking local, knowing it's made by partners and friends who really started this brewing process.
So every sector of the economy industry has been impacted by the pandemic, but no one's been hit harder than small businesses. Can you tell us a little bit of the challenges that the small craft brewers have been facing and how are they faring?
Yeah, unfortunately, the pandemic, as you said, has been tragic for everyone. But for a lot of our local craft breweries, we have a very large on-premise presence where you can actually go and see where the beer is being made only a few feet away from where you enjoy it. So during that time, in the beginning of the pandemic, during the shutdown, we were fortunately able to stay open in some capacity in the retail side by offering curbside and pickup or delivery. And so since May 20th was the first day that we opened the doors back up for on-premise consumption. And we've still had a lot of obstacles during that regarding food and how many people can be inside with 6 feet away. And we've really been, during the summer, just transitioning a lot of our parking lots, and outdoor spaces into those dining experiences.
That's funny you bring that up because when I think of a craft brewery, that's what I think. It's where people come as like their third home. They have work, home, and then they have the local brewery to meet their neighbors and, build relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's become your local bar. It's become your local spot to go have a good beverage after work or with friends on a weekend. We have a really great tourism piece around our breweries as well, where there's, everybody, at least in America, somebody lives within 10 miles of a brewery. So you can visit, 2, 3, 4 on a weekend very easily.
So can you tell us a little bit about, what this industry means to Connecticut and why they're so important to our communities?
Yeah, these communities that we've been diving ourselves into, like I said, they've become so hyper local. So you're really supporting your neighbors that live in your town, invest in your town. Their kids go to your schools. You see them at the grocery store. Those are the people that you're supporting in these local businesses. And all these breweries, even though they're very financially tight, these not mega corporations that we're talking about like Anheuser-Busch or Miller Coors, we're talking about small breweries. They are so involved and so dived into their communities by whether it's supporting a local baseball team or putting on a fundraiser for a local charity or in tragic events if somebody passes away, or something like that. You're really rallied around your community, and these breweries are pretty much in every single community in Connecticut.
Give us a few examples of some of the recent community initiatives you've seen. I know you have 116 members. What are some of the types of ways that they've adapted to giving this year?
Yeah, absolutely. For instance, Bad Sons over in Derby has a charity Tapline for the Valley. Those are the initials of their brewery name. for the Valley out there. But they have a charity tap line that goes to every single month. They raise money that goes to a local charity in the Valley. New England Brewing Company in Woodbridge, Connecticut, raises about $250,000 every single year for Smilo Cancer Center through the Closer to Free ride.
Through his work at New England Brewing Company, they've been able to use their beer for fundraising, raking in $252,000 last year.
I didn't set that as a goal, but each time we kept surpassing the goal, I just kept raising it to the team.
It's been such a phenomenal initiative that they put together every single year. Unfortunately, this year was a little bit different, obviously, but we're very much looking forward to getting that back up and running next year.
These aren't small dollars. They're really meaningful and as you've seen, kind of really responsive because they engage the community in it. I'm going to put you on the spot here, but can you tell us a little bit about the partnership that you're doing? Is it Sacred Heart?
Yeah, we have a brewing science program, first of its kind in Connecticut. We just launched it this year in 2020 in the beginning of the spring. It's a brewing science program. It's a 22 credit course through the Sacred Heart program where you can learn the operations, the brewing science behind craft brewing. We just started putting together the Connecticut Brewers Guild African American Brewing Science Brewing Scholarship. So it's an endowment that we're setting up through Sacred Heart, where we'll be raising a total of $250,000 over the next couple of years to be able to send an African American student through that brewing science program. So we're elevating and identifying the need for more women and people of color in our industry.
So how can people help? I mean, for the next, through the winter and early next year, what can we do to actually make a meaningful impact for the brewers in our state?
The best way that anybody can go and support a brewery is going and whether it's at a minimum just picking up a beer to go, going and enjoying craft beer at the breweries, buying their merchandise. All of my wardrobe is beer, beer shirts, beer hats, stickers, glassware. There's a million ways that you can support, and even though it might just be a $5 glass or sticker, t-shirt, hats, things like that, it definitely helps these breweries cover and at least be able to have something of a floor to stand on. And going and supporting and buying local, whether it's from a package store, obviously directly from the brewery too. We're going to be doing a ton of different collaborations, especially with the holidays. When people get together, you want to be showing up with craft beer to your families. And then once we get into the spring, hopefully knock on wood, when everything's back up to some normalcy, attending events, going out to the breweries that maybe were closed during the winter for health and safety of the patrons, going and supporting events is going to be huge as well.
So if someone doesn't know where their closest brewery is do you have a way for them to find it?
Yeah, absolutely. Earlier this year, we launched our CT Beer Trail app. It's available on Google Play and iOS. And you can go there and download the Connecticut Beer Trail app. So go on there, download it, CT Beer Trail. Like I said, it has all the information you need about where breweries are. You have an interactive map that you can actually plan your trips as well. So if you're planning to go out with your friends or significant others on the weekends and might be going to a section of Connecticut you never heard or know about, you can just hop on there and click the 3 or 4 you want to go visit and save that as my Saturday trip.
Well, Phil, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing a little and giving us a little insight into the industry.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Really good. It's supporting the local communities. We're creating jobs. There's a part of us that's in this as well to help regrow the state again.